Good day, I'm Twyla Whelan and this is your JIS News for Monday, July 1, 2024. Jamaica is now under hurricane watch, which means the island is expected to face hurricane conditions within 48 hours. The hurricane watch was announced at 10 this morning through the National Hurricane Center. This as the island is expected to be impacted by extremely dangerous winds, storm surge, widespread heavy rainfall, and thunder showers associated with Hurricane Beryl on Wednesday going into Thursday.
The current projected path takes the center of the system just off the south coast. However, there is a chance that the center could actually pass over Jamaica or even further from the southern coastline. And so we are watching, monitoring very closely.
In the forecast track, the center of Beryl is currently moving across the southern Windward Islands and will move across the southeastern and central Caribbean Sea late today through Wednesday. At news time, the Category 4 hurricane featured maximum sustained winds near 220 kilometers or 140 miles per hour with higher gusts.
It is expected on moving into the central Caribbean to be reduced in intensity somewhat because conditions are not very favorable in the western Caribbean to sustain the major hurricane. However, by the time it passes Jamaica or passes over Jamaica, it is still likely to be a hurricane and possibly a major hurricane. So we are continuing to monitor this system.
Fishers in Jamaica's waters have been advised to evacuate immediately, and Jamaicans are generally urged to begin making preparations. This includes making any necessary repairs to secure your roofs, clearing your yard of loose items that could become missiles during a hurricane, trimming trees that hang over the house and other buildings, and securing items to batten down doors and windows. Persons should also visit the ODPEM website to find out the nearest shelter to their home, have a shelter bag with essential items ready, and secure important documents in a waterproof container and keep in an easy-to-reach place.
We have already taken steps to be prepared as a government. ODPEM is on alert, the JDF is on alert, so should the worst happen, the government is already mobilized and prepared. So it is now for the citizens themselves, householders, people who live alone, to be aware of the possibility and take the necessary actions. It is always in your best interest to be prepared. If the weather event passes and there is no impact, you would have lost nothing. But you would not want an impact to occur, and you did not prepare for it.
In other news, the National Water Commission, NWC, has commenced work on the Brownstone to Retreat pipeline project in St. Ann. Prime Minister Andrew Holness was on hand for the recent groundbreaking ceremony to kickstart the work that is slated for completion within 3 months. The 4-kilometer pipeline project, budgeted to cost $29 million, will give more than 1,500 residents access to piped water. The Minard well will also be refurbished at a cost of $60 million to supply 2 to 3 million gallons of water per day. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the well will be instrumental in channeling water to the communities of Enfield, Lindale, Retreat, and Brownstone.
The government has a commitment to bring water based upon our policy to every single Jamaican. And I give the commitment to all my Jamaican people who don't have water that we are working tirelessly to make sure that water can come to your home as well.
Minister with responsibility for water, Senator Matthew Samuda, had good news for St. Mary residents.
Each system that you invest in assists the other system. It is why we are nearing completion on our plans, and we expect to break ground later this year, Prime Minister, on the new wells at Jordan in central St. Mary. Now, this will supply some 30,000 people in St. Mary.
Persons to fill key leadership positions at the Western Children and Adolescent Hospital have already been identified, and the Ministry of Health is reviewing a comprehensive staffing plan for the facility. Portfolio Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton provided this update at a recent press conference in Montego Bay. He says these positions include the CEO and Deputy CEO, as well as the Senior Medical Officer and the Director of Nursing Services.
So, we have 4 very important positions that have already been filled. And they will now working with the CEO of Cornwall Regional and others that they will pull on a committee on a needs basis, will now take this workforce plan once it is fully signed off on, and we will devise a strategy to now recruit and to activate or populate that workforce plan.
Minister Tufton says an estimated 1,208 persons will be needed to staff the hospital. He reveals that the CEO of the Cornwall Regional Hospital will have overall management responsibility for both that facility and the Western Children and Adolescent Hospital. The Deputy CEO will have oversight for the Children and Adolescent facility. The new 220-bed hospital, which is expected to open in June next year, will serve as a center of excellence, providing a continuum of care for the population from birth to 17 years old. The comprehensive review of the Road Traffic Act and regulations, which is now underway, has identified several key considerations for modification. Minister of Transport Darrell Vaz provided the details during last week's post-cabinet press briefing at Jamaica House. He says the areas for modification include the renewal of driver's licenses for persons 70 years and older. It is proposed that the process be modified to require the submission of a medical certificate proving that a person is fit to drive.
A supplemental form will be introduced and the current form retained by the doctor as a guide to the matters to be considered in determining the question of fitness. Adjusting the applicable fees to be less than the amount charged for a 5-year renewal. This amount will be contingent on the lifetime of the driver's license of the elderly.
The Public Transport Operators Steering Committee will also conduct a comprehensive review of demerit points.
The recommendations are being reviewed by the Ministry with a view to be taken to Cabinet in short order. We had set a timeline for June 30th. With respect to moving violations causing accidents, fatalities, and disorder on public road, demerit points will be imposed. Demerit points for non-movable offences will put drivers at risk of getting enough demerit points to lose their license within a short period of time, which obviously is not the intent. The intent is to keep the roads safe and the discipline.
Previously announced policy changes that bring new benefits to NHT contributors take effect today. This means that all NHT mortgages are now eligible for a home improvement loan of up to $3.5 million after 10 years of their initial mortgage.
Also, with the government's thrust towards renewable energy, we have also designed new products that will assist our contributors at large in accessing funding for renewable energy equipment and devices.
The Smart Energy Home Improvement Loan and Smart Energy Grant for public sector pensioners will offer up to $1.5 million for persons to outfit their homes with energy-saving technologies. Another new benefit is the Home Starter Program, which will allow younger contributors to buy into the schemes offered by the NHT.
So what NHT has done is, for particular schemes, we have identified projects where we will allow more young persons to buy into those schemes with the opportunity to sell it back to the NHT without losing their benefit.
Other contributors will benefit from a young adults program through which the NHT will reserve at least 10% of its housing solutions for contributors under 35 years old. Along with these changes, the NHT is extending support to micro, small and medium-sized enterprises, MSMEs, and charitable organizations under its Contribution Amnesty Program. Eligible entities with a staff complement of 50 persons or less and/or annual earnings under $425 million can settle outstanding contributions with waived penalty interest. Additionally, these organizations can enjoy a 20% discount on employer contributions settled by September 30, 2024. And finally, Minister of Tourism Edmund Bartlett says the recently opened Poco Loco floating bar in Ocho Rios is what tourism is about, having new experiences and meeting new people.
And this is what Poco Loco is doing. It's bringing the venue to them, where new people, exciting people with new experiences are going to be together. And we're excited about enabling more of this kind of activities to happen because it drives more visitors into Jamaica.
Mayor of St. Anne's Bay, Michael Bell-Navis, stresses that the attraction is for both overseas and local patrons, pointing out that the new experience adds something to the nightlife, which some might argue was lacking.
It's important that they get the feel of Jamaica, not from a hotel perspective, but from a local perspective. And this product lends itself to mixing and mingling with the locals itself. So it adds to the night attraction, which Dunn's River, Mystic Mountain, Dolphin Cove and those others don't provide.
It is expected that approximately 200 persons will patronize the venue daily. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Twyla Whelan. Thanks for watching.